There are growing concerns that Iran and Hezbollah could launch retaliatory attacks on Israel as soon as today. Iran has vowed to take severe action against Israel following a deadly strike that killed a Hamas leader last week in Tehran. As a result of the possible escalations, the U.S. Embassy in Lebanon is urging Americans to leave the country using, quote, any ticket available. Meanwhile, dozens of Palestinians were reportedly killed in Gaza after a new wave of Israeli airstrikes. The latest attacks follow ceasefire talks breaking down in Cairo over the weekend. Let's bring in CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab from Beirut. So, Imtiaz, what is the situation there in Beirut?
Well, Lindsay, the mood, as you can imagine here, is incredibly tense. In fact, the city of Beirut, which sadly is not a stranger that is unfamiliar with violence or the threat of violence or war with Israel, is quiet. And this is unusual for a city like Beirut. You know, again, as we've been saying, it has this reputation of really sort of being able to sort of withstand the sort of regional jolts. And yet, as we've been saying, people going to the airport, trying to get on any flight they can out of the country. We have many people who have moved to the mountainous areas outside of Beirut as well. All of this over fears that Hezbollah will retaliate for the assassination of one of its most senior military commanders, a man by the name of Fuad Shukr, who was assassinated 1 week ago today in Dahya in southern Lebanon, not far from where I am now. Again, Hezbollah vowing to retaliate, hasn't done so yet. But of course, the fear is not so much that when Hezbollah retaliates, it's how Israel responds. And many are fearing that if Israel responds and how Israel responds could cause significant damage, not only in southern Lebanon, where we've seen so much activity between Hezbollah and Israel really for the past 10 months or so, but that here, Beirut, could also be targeted. Lindsay.
Imtiaz, it feels like we're talking about Iran retaliating against Israel and then Israel retaliating against Iran. I mean, where does this end?
It's dizzying as it is frightening. And that is really the question here. Where does this end? We've been seeing for months now this tit for tat, whether it's Hezbollah and Israel or Iran and Israel. And as we know, there's this frantic diplomacy going on around the world trying to contain this, desperately trying to contain this, following those assassinations carried out by Israel here in Beirut and suspected in Iran. Although Israel has admitted to the assassination here, it is not said that it is responsible for the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh inside of Iran, but most agree that Israel did carry it out. Iran saying that it is going to respond with a severe response. And again, the question then becomes is how does Israel respond? But again, as we've been saying, that there is this intense diplomacy going around. We know the U.S. is heavily involved, although it doesn't have direct interactions with Iran, certainly doesn't have direct interactions with Hezbollah. We do know regional partners are really trying to de-escalate the situation. The question now is, will they be successful? And if they are, how does this choreography that we've seen in the past play out? Will Israel tolerate a strike from Hezbollah? Will Iran carry out a limited strike against Israel, resulting in a limited strike from Israel itself? Again, these are the huge questions that we're grappling with now as the region is really on a knife's edge.
Imtiaz, you mentioned U.S. involvement in ceasefire discussions and diplomatic talks, but what about militarily? What kind of additional resources has the U.S. moved into the region?
Well, we know that the defense secretary has sent an aircraft carrier to the region and has really beefed up the U.S. military presence in the eastern Mediterranean. And we've seen this presence kind of come and go over the months as tensions kind of rise and then fade away and then rise again. And we're really at a very tense situation. But again, this really underscores the U.S.'s concern that this tit for tat that we're seeing from Iran and its proxies with Israel could lead to an all-out war. And the reason it's so concerning, not just for Israel, not just for Lebanon, not just for Iran, and indeed countries across the region, is that the U.S. could be drawn into a major conflict here in the United States. Of course, Israel, its most important ally, key ally in the region, despite the fact that the relationship between President Biden and Prime Minister Netanyahu, as we know, is very tense right now. That the U.S. would step in and defend Israel. So again, as we've been saying, the real fear here is that this could escalate into an all-out war and draw the U.S. in.
Imtiaz Tyab, thank you.